Tamara home?
Are you sure? Welcome back
to
Silent Screaming Resurrected. I'm Jordan Gradell.
And I am your other host, not Jordan Gradell, Patrick Hill. And this is a comedy horror podcast where we do some ASMR and talk about horror movies.
Yay!
Wow!
Where's the claps?
Thank you. They love us.
I love the guy in the back that's like, yeah!
I know, that's the most aggressive applause feature ever. Today, we are talking about the classic horror movie.
Classic.
The movie from 2003.
2004.
2008.
No.
The Strangers, starring Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Wow. I was in 8th grade.
I was a junior, sophomore.
Wow. Jordan's older.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited about this because The Strangers has consistently been in like my top 3 horror movies of all time.
I know, it's been on your list for
and it will always be on my list.
Ago.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I can't wait to get into it.
But before we get into that, we're going to drink something today. And I have a special cocktail. Jordan, can you pass me that shaker, please? Wow.
I got to take advantage of the new mics.
I found this cocktail on Reddit. This is
great.
Is Tamara home?
Oh, that's what it's called?
Mm-hmm. It's a
that.
twist on a something else that I can't remember what it is called.
You know, I love this movie so much. I'm going to name my firstborn Tamara.
Do it. Jesus Christ. What if Tamara had been home?
They'd probably be like, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior?
That was their other mission. This is a drink that has ingredients that I forget, but I'll post it on when we post the episode. It's got gin in it.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh no. Hold on. Let's even it out a little bit.
No, that's okay. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, you gotta top it with champagne first.
Oh, shit.
It's not done.
I don't know. I'm not making the drink.
This isn't a pop top, not as exciting, but we'll do a twisty ASMR sound.
Ooh.
That's actually kind of nice. For our fans.
For our fans. Pouring out for our homies.
That's not bad.
No, that's actually drinkable.
Yeah, it's better than the one that we did on the last episode.
Yeah, that one was not drinkable.
Which was just whiskey, pretty much, and some Splenda.
Love that. Love that for us.
Before we get into the movie The Strangers, we were going to talk about, like, what you're looking forward to.
Right.
What are you excited about?
What am I excited about? Okay, so there's a new movie. I already know it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna still watch it anyway. And I've had this on my list for a few months now. Night Swim.
Yes. Isn't it already in theaters?
It is. I think it came out on January 20 something. So I want to watch that. And then Self-Reliance, which is also out, that has Anna Kendrick and the guy that plays Nick on New Girls. I can never remember his name. Jake. Something.
Mm-hmm. Jake Johnson.
Doesn't he sing Better Together? That's Jack Johnson.
Jordan's just full of fucking jokes.
It's not funny to anybody else except for me. That's the sad part. We just saw that Beetlejuice is coming out in September.
Beetlejuice.
Just don't say it a third time because it's going to show up and
Which I'm saying is such a brilliant way to name the second movie because then there's going to be a third. Beetlejuice. I did it. Instead of 3 times.
Our theme song actually kind of feels Beetlejuice-esque.
You know, ironically, when I gave Caroline inspiration for our theme song, that was what I gave her. Was the theme song for Beetlejuice, and she fucking nailed it.
So excited for that. And then Nosferatu.
Yes.
We don't have a release date or anything, but they just like kind of soft launched the cast lineup, and
Bill
it looks
Skarsgård.
really, really good. I cannot think of a better actor than Bill Skarsgård. So I'm super, super excited about those movies.
Talented.
So talented. He can play charming, scary, funny, serious. He can do it all.
That's all of the emotions right there. Charming, scary, funny, serious.
That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. I also have on my list Abigail, which I think we posted the trailer on our Instagram story, which is about the ballerina who is also a vampire.
Do you know that the girl that plays her, she played Matilda.
Yeah, she's Matilda. She's amazing.
Naughty.
I love watching her like career blossom from Matilda to this really fun looking horror movie. It's also Angus Cloud's last. I don't know if it's the last thing he shot, but one of the last things. Rest in peace, sir. It's gonna be very awkward to watch him for sure die in this movie.
Oh.
He also definitely dies. You see him die in the trailer, so you know he's gonna die.
Yeah, but I think that's what he would have wanted.
Yeah, it's a fun way to go.
Yeah.
Fun way to go out. But it looks really fun. It has Melissa Barrera from the Scream series in it, which I'm very excited for because she's no longer in the Scream series. Boo to the producers of Scream. # Free Palestine. Support Melissa Barrera. And I'm excited to see. Sorry, not to get political for a second. Anyways, back to our podcast.
I do really hope that we talked about her acting on this podcast before.
Yes.
She didn't start out as the strongest actress, but I could definitely tell she'd been working on it when we saw the last Scream movie that she was in.
She got increasingly better.
And so I'm hopeful that it's
yes, I have not always been a Melissa Barrera stan, but after the events surrounding her departure from Scream, I'm very much on board with her, and I will watch anything that she's in forever.
Fair enough.
Especially horror, because that's our genre.
We love genres.
So good. So good. I'm also really excited for, even though it seems like Hollywood is obsessed with making nun horror movies, there's 8 million of them, because nuns are spooky.
And sexy.
Sydney Sweeney nun horror movie coming out later this year called Immaculate. It looks very trippy and hopefully a new take on the nun horror.
I just don't hope they like over sexualize her. I just know in a nun outfit, it might be easy to do that.
Well, on that note, do you want to do your segment?
Before we go to a break, I do have a new segment that I would like to introduce on the podcast. No.
You need a sound effect for it?
A new ASMR segment, ASMR corner, we could call it. And I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. You're going to close your eyes.
Okay.
And
I have to guess what it is?
You have to guess the item.
Okay. I'm ready.
I have 3 items for you today.
3 items.
We're going to start with fairly easy and we'll get progressively more difficult, okay?
I'm ready.
Okay. So the first item, I got to show if you're viewing it, I got to show you what it is.
A
Okay.
floss container?
Ooh, close. It's lipstick.
Oh.
All right.
It was definitely making my brain itch.
This one's a little harder, so if you get this, I'll actually be very impressed. Okay, item number 2.
A tissue box?
Ooh, no.
Makeup brush.
Ooh, kind of close. It is a brush of sorts. It's a lint brush.
Okay. I'm not good at guessing audio things.
Well, these are very obscure items. Okay, the last one. This is impossible for you to get, but I want you to try anyway. Okay.
What the fuck? Tape?
close. It's a sort of tape. It's scissors cutting boob tape.
You did not try to get me to guess scissors cutting fucking boob tape. Is this game actually really what is in Jordan's purse?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be like, it's the tape again. It's the
Well,
boob tape.
I promise you I normally don't carry around boob tape. It's just I was in a wedding recently and it kept falling off of the bride, so I threw it in my bag so I would have it on standby in case of an emergency, and I just haven't taken it out. So
Is the like commercial name of it boob tape?
yeah, breast tape
Breast tape. Booby tape.
could be breast tape, but I think I don't think it's titty tape, but I guess it could be.
Titty tape.
That's more catchy.
Nipple glue. That's different, probably.
Yeah, because there's like nipple pads, like pasties, but it's like supposed to keep you from nipping. And then you're supposed to put the boob tape like on the bottom and like tape it up so it helps like lift it.
Well, we're getting a how-to video right
Or
now.
you can put it, depending on like the cut of your dress, or you can put it like on the side and like bring it in to make it look like you have more cleavage.
I remember one time helping my friend Kara duct tape her boobs because she didn't have boob tape with her. So she had duct tape in her car.
Yeah.
We duct
We've
taped
all
her
been there.
boobs down. Insane.
That would hurt.
Insane behavior. Well, we'll be right back to talk about the amazing movie Strangers,
And now a word from our sponsors.
if we have any. And we're back. Did you miss us? We were gone for probably 10 seconds for you.
They were scared.
They were such long seconds.
Well, we're back now. We're here to tell you a tale
About The Strangers, based on a true story.
You know, I really hope it is. I don't think
Jesus
it was.
Christ. You said, I really hope some motherfuckers got killed.
I think it was loosely based.
This was that era where they could have the like, they could be like, oh, one time a couple went to a cabin and like someone knocked on the door and asked if Tamara was there. And they were like, based on a true story. That's all they needed.
But I thought, okay, so when it first came out in 2008, I remember going to the movie theaters. And
We forgot to say this is The Strangers, by the way.
yeah, we're talking about the classic The Strangers. And when it said based on a true story, I went and Googled it. I think it is based on a murder of home invasion.
I think it's just based on the concept of home invasion.
I
and
disagree.
murders.
I disagree.
It was like that time, but also remember, movies can lie to you because they're movies. Like that movie. Do you remember the movie The Fourth Kind?
We've talked about it
yeah.
on here.
That movie scared the shit out of me. And at the beginning, it said based on a true story, but then you find out that was just a lie. They just lied. All that real footage at the end was also made by them. Like it was.
The footage
all
at the
fake.
end made me cry. I was so scared.
It was so scary, but it wasn't real either.
It wasn't real.
No.
Is any of this real?
Is life real? We're in a simulation.
I think so. But well, Fargo does the same thing. The beginning of their episodes.
You're like, yes, people have been murdered where it's cold, based on a true story. That's all it takes.
Life imitates art.
Quite.
So, what were we talking about?
The Stranger. I will say, okay, firstly, Liv Tyler, when I was a child, and
Or was it Liv Taylor?
Liv Taylor. She is Steven Tyler's daughter. Do you know that? Of the band Aerosmith, for those of you who don't know.
Never heard of them.
Oh, wow. That band. She was one of my childhood crushes. And by that, I mean,
Lord of the Rings.
I looked at her and I was like, that's a woman and she's pretty. I should be attracted to her. But I wasn't because I was gay. But, you know.
You knew what an attractive person looked like, though.
And I had a pretend type. Like, I was attracted. My two crushes from back then, quote unquote, were Liv Tyler and Kate Beckinsale. They're both
choices.
tall, brunette, hot white women who look
okay.
very similar.
So you're into brunettes.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Apparently so. So that was my type. And I think Liv Tyler is such a fantastic and versatile actress, but
Yes.
also like so unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this movie, she's so like soft spoken. She's just like, babe, there's someone outside. Just like the way she talks is like so
Like
interesting.
meek.
It's like she's so meek and mild, which she is in a lot of her movies, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, she definitely has like a softness to her. But I just have to say, The Strangers, I will never say a bad thing about The Strangers.
No, it holds fucking up.
It does. It does. And this makes me want to go back and rewatch it because The Strangers, I know we've had like our tops of all time. We did this, I think, in the very, very first episode of the show.
Mm-hmm.
The Strangers is, I think it's The Strangers, Hereditary, and then Evil Dead, the 2013 version.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 of all time. Sorry about it. They are. There's just something so creepy about it, even from the very beginning, before you even know what's about to go down.
The aesthetic is just so like specific. It's so like it almost like how they have like that sepia tone filter on it, but like not too much, just like a little bit.
Just like a little bit, and I think it even would hit differently now because Airbnb is a thing.
Mm-hmm. No, I watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
so I like needed to I wanted to rewatch, and it definitely does.
There's just something creepy about like staying in someone else's home.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to feel homey,
mm-hmm.
but it doesn't because it's unfamiliar and you're not familiar with your surroundings. And there's just something so eerie about it. And then also like the tone, right? Because at the beginning of the movie, they get in a fight or it's like awkward.
Yeah, it's because he had just proposed to her and she said no.
Yeah, and you're just like, ugh, you're uncomfortable. You're in an unfamiliar space. You don't really know these people. You're trying to like get to know the characters and you're trying to like, level with them. But they're both like being standoffish. I don't know. It's just an interesting way to start a movie.
Yeah. You very much know who they are. They're like, there's not a lot of dialogue right at the beginning, but like they just become such like whole characters, which I feel like so many horror movies nowadays lack that. You don't have like a fully developed fleshed out person there. It's just like cannon fodder people.
And I think it really helps you root for them too because you feel empathy for him. You're like, oh, that's so awkward. Like he really loves her. But then you see her side too. It's like, oh, she really loves him too, but she's just like not ready.
It's not time
It's
yet.
just not the right time. And you just you just have this like sense of empathy for them, and you're even though you don't really know them, you know enough to know that they're good people.
Yeah, for sure. Also, was it a jump scare for you? Not like a literal jump scare, but like I guess when I last saw this movie, I had not seen any of It's Always Sunny.
Oh, The Friend?
Yeah, I did not realize. I've seen this movie multiple times and did not know until this time that it was Dennis. I was like, what the fuck? Dennis is in this movie? I was so surprised.
I think I realized it like the last time I watched it, but I obviously didn't know who he was when I watched it in 2008.
It clearly shows how long ago it's been since I watched this. Like, I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times. And like the last time I saw it before this watch had to be in college because that's when I started watching It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
So
that is so funny. But he would be that friend that goes over and does
exactly.
That's like hello. I love that scene. Yeah, I think the reason why, and I've said this before, I think the reason why this movie is so scary is not because of the gore or the violence or the jump scares. It's how realistic it is. Like, I think we can all relate to being at home by yourself or being in an unfamiliar space and just like the idea of the doorbell ringing or someone knocking at your door that you're not expecting, even if you're in your own home. Mm-hmm. I think millennials really just like kind of got it bad with that, but yeah. And then the doorbell. I even get scared when my Uber Eats rings my doorbell, and I'm expecting them.
The worst thing in the world is when they ring your doorbell and you go to look through the peephole or open it and they're still standing there. It's like, have we learned nothing?
I know. I'm like,
leave it and walk away.
Yeah. Why do you want to see me? I don't.
Also, I think this movie is so very good at like subverting your expectations in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. One, because I think, again, spoiler alert, especially when this movie came out, I don't think people were used to movies where like the protagonists like don't fucking make it.
Yeah.
I think audiences were not ready for that. Yeah. I think that's part of what made it so shocking. And then even when they're like tied up and like you're like, oh, this is really bad, you're still expecting something to happen for them to find a way out or something, and they don't. And there's so many moments like with the friend showing up the whole time, you're like waiting for him to get like axed by one of these people, these intruders, because you see like the man with the bag on his head behind him, like about to do something, and then he gets shot, and it's just like not what you expect at all.
Yeah.
And the way it's done, like where he's literally just like boom, like headshot, dead.
I still associate that song that plays during that scene. I hear it all the time at bars. It's just it just gives me the creeps.
The creeps.
So yes, I love it. And then the idea of us, we never see their faces of the strangers. Yeah. We never get that resolution. Nope. They just drive off into the abyss, onto the next one. Like we get no sense of closure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very lacking for sure. I think that's part of what makes the sequel not work as well, but I'm pretty sure that they kill all of the intruders in that movie by the end. Yeah. Which like you can't do that.
That's so off brand.
Like, well, it's because they wanted to give you a win in that movie and have like some of the main characters survive and not be like the same story again.
Well, they could have had like one of them survive, but then the rest of like all of the strangers.
And maybe I'm wrong. Away. Maybe some of them do survive, and because I think she escapes, but I don't remember the specifics. It's been a while. It just didn't leave an impact on me the way that this one does.
Yeah.
This one is so good at like just completely subverting your expectations. And apparently that was the case for the actors too. I looked at the trivia, and like the director would be like, okay, in this next scene, we're going to hit the wall over here. And like, you need to react to that, Liv Tyler. And then they would go and hit completely different places than they prepared her for. So like part of her like fear is real because she was like not knowing where it was going to come from. Oh my gosh,
that's like Blair Witch Project, but
doing
not as extreme.
Psychological torture, just a light psychological torture. I will say this is a movie where they're both kind of dum-dums when it comes to like dealing with the situation. Because maybe I just have a big head, but I'm like, I could have survived that.
Yeah, because they technically get out of the house.
Yeah, and like fucking run.
I know. Like, the neighbors can't be that far away, right?
Right? There has to be one somewhere close by, but apparently not.
Like, we have to stay by the house.
They can't move. But I feel like this one really started that whole trend. And I love these movies. I think a lot of them are really good in their own right. That, like, home invasion trend where it's like, we had this, and then we got You're Next, and we got the fucking whole Purge series is that. Hush is that. All of those movies are in that realm, and they're all... I think a lot of those are good in their own right, but this was like the OG. Yeah,
I know. I agree. I think it pioneered the way. I just love it. I just love this makes me. I'm gonna go home and go watch it now because it's so good.
It is very good. I'm like honestly ready to rewatch it. I'm a little part of I think why it came up in my mind is because they're about to reboot it, and I think it's a remake semi with the girl from fucking Riverdale.
Lily.
No, the other one, the redhead one.
Oh, what's her name?
Madeline Pesh. Yeah, she's in. They're making I don't know if it's a movie or if it's a series of movies or a TV series coming out called The Strangers Chapter 1, 2, and 3. And she's in at least 2 of them, if not all 3. And young couple drive cross-country toward a new beginning. Unfortunately, they have no choice but to stop in a secluded Airbnb in Oregon. So they update it.
Wow. That's so Gen Z of them.
So Gen Z. And, like, I'm not going to knock it until I see it. You know, I want to see it and see how it goes.
I just, see, now this is how I know I'm getting old. Because I'm like, you just can't beat the original.
I think this is maybe supposed to be like origin story-esque for them, like why they started doing this. But I'm not sure. It looks like it could be interesting. I've seen the really long scene with her. Well, like where the Is Tamara Home thing happened, because it happens to her in this one too. The Is Tamara Home.
Ooh, that voice is creepy.
It is truly creepy. The way she talks the whole movie, like every time, because you were home.
Yeah. That's really what like was the nail in the coffin for me when she's like, "Why are you doing this?" And like there wasn't a reason.
Nope.
Just because
You were there.
And that just goes to show you can do everything right. And I watch way too much true crime, but like as women, you can go out to the bar, you can get drunk and you have a great time, be with your friends, you have a safe ride home, you made it into your house, and you still can end up being murdered.
And then there could still be a tall man with the top hat at the end of your bed.
It's true.
Jordan's a living testimony.
It's true.
Where's your true crime documentary?
It's not a crime.
Yeah. But yeah, I love it. I love that we never get to see the faces of the three people. I remember there being in the second one, there's a pool scene.
Yeah, I saw that with neon lights. It looked really cool. I need to watch that too.
I think it's still fun. It's just not the same. There's just many moments where I feel like I would have kept running or.
Yeah, but there's never going to be. Okay, I shouldn't say never. Most of the time, there's not going to be that moment in horror movies because we have to make the characters a little dumb.
That's true. Otherwise, the movie will not have any tension or suspense or violence.
Or fun times for us.
That's true. If they had gotten the upper hand and had like fought back, we wouldn't have had as good of a time. I think this wouldn't have been as monumental of a movie for us.
I agree.
I think it would have been like another movie where the predictable protagonists like get the upper hand and win or escape or something.
But that's not real life.
No,
it's not. Normally you die.
Yeah, life sucks and then you die. Hopefully not this way though. That really would suck.
I don't know if I'm going to go out. Might as well be memorable.
Well, you can have fun with that. Good luck.
I mean, I don't want to be stabbed. Ideally.
Well, you just asked for it. I mean, you just said, "Yeah, I'd love to be stabbed."
I mean,
you said those words. We can rewind the tape.
No, I said if you're gonna go out, might as well
be memorable.
Be memorable.
Oh. Well, I disagree.
Okay.
I want to fade into obscurity when I die. If you like this podcast,
don't be a stranger.
Or do show up at our house and be like, "Is Tamara home?" Tamara is home, so you can leave.
Yeah, but she doesn't live here, so
she's home, but she doesn't.
She's at her home.
If you like this podcast, you should rate, review, and subscribe it. Please subscribe to it, and then you should follow us on Instagrams and TikToks at Silent Screaming Podcast. And if you have any complaints, comments, questions, concerns,
compliments,
ideas, if you want to be a guest, any of those things, you can email us at silentscreamingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just message us on one of those social media platforms that I just fucking mentioned.
You can figure it out. You're a fucking adult.
Yeah. That felt like a Miley Cyrus moment. Whoa, whoa, yeah. So, don't
drink a podcast.
Good night. Bye. Or morning, or whatever time it is there.
Love you.